Hi everyone, welcome to 60 Days DevOps course. So today is our first class of Kubernetes modules. So in this section we will discuss what is Kubernetes and architecture of the Kubernetes. So this is the our document which is already available in our GitHub repository. So Google is a Kubernetes is a developed by Google and it maintained by CNF. It's an open source application. So it's used for manage containerized apps at scale. So when we run any container by Docker, so Docker itself is not able to create another container, or if the want to scale this container, Docker is by itself is not able to do this. So for that purpose we are using Kubernetes. So Kubernetes basically monitor, manage and scaling container. So it's automate deployment, scaling and healing. So healing is basically if some container have some health issue, like if this resource is using more, or anyhow the code is down or going to crash, these things are also maintained by Kubernetes. So when Kubernetes see this pod is down, it will automatically create a new pod. So all these things basically are done by Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is an orchestration tools. So when we are running in Kubernetes, so it has some components. So let me explain this in like a image, then you can understand. So here is a 3-node Kubernetes cluster. Why we are calling it 3-node? Because it has 3 nodes. So this is one node, this is one node, this is one node. So node are basically server. So this is one server, this is 2 server, and this is 3 server. So there is 3 servers. So it's a 3-node cluster. So and this node is we are calling master node, and these are basically worker node. So master node basically responsible to deploy any pod or create any pod, everything. So master node is doing everything in worker mode. So in worker node, we can see there is pod running. So pod are basically most smaller thing in Kubernetes. So under inside the pod, this container is running. So in this pod there is one container running, this is another container running. So in worker node, so because we are using to running container, so somehow we need a container runtime. So here we are using Docker. So container runtime is responsible to run the container. So that's why we need container runtime. So here we are using Docker is a container runtime. And here is a kubelet. Kubelet is another component which is responsible to order the container to deploy any container. And kubelet also a communicate interface with the master node, which is API server. So a kubelet is communicate with other by API server. And here is another component, kube-proxy. Kube-proxy is maintain the network. So this container is apps running, and this container DB running. So it will communicate by network. This section is maintained by kube-proxy. So kube-proxy is basically maintain the network section. So which container connect to which container, this thing is maintained by kube-proxy. And in the master controller, so master node is main component is API server. So this is the main gateway. So if any user asks for any how many container or pod is running in my system, so then it come to first API server. API server will check if this user have access to this cluster. If this server have access to cluster, then this API server send this request to kubelet, and kubelet will tell there is 2 pod running. Then API server tell to the customer. So API is the main entry point who can communicate with user and the cluster. And one thing, master node is responsible to monitor this cluster, and main thing are running on the worker node. So all pod are running in worker nodes. So the worker node resource should be more instead of using lower resource in like master node. So if we use like a 4 GB RAM in master node, then worker node should be like 32 GB. So resource should be more in worker node because all system or application or pod all are running in worker node. Okay, so there are 3 more components which is like scheduler. Scheduler is the component who is responsible for to launch a new container. Like if we want to launch another container here, scheduler is the component who responsible to run the pod in that node. And scheduler also like checking this thing, like if this node have like 60% uses and this node have like 30% uses, then scheduler will check this which have available more resources, then that pod will be deployed to the free resource node. And like if any container is crashes or down, this thing will like monitor by control manager. So control manager is responsible to monitor all container status. So any container is down, then container will tell scheduler that container is down, then scheduler will deploy a new container in that pod. And all information are stored in the HCD server, like where the information is stored, the 60% resources and these 30% resources, these all stored in HCD database. It's a database where is all information is stored of a cluster. So if this is 2 node cluster, then this 2 node is stored here, is which pod is running, which pod is resource, how much, all information is stored in this HCD server. Okay, so this is like a 3 node cluster because 1 master node and 2 worker node. So like if any master worker is down, then the user will not able to access any worker. So for that purpose we can use another master node. So if anyhow this master node is down, then user can communicate with this master node to the worker. Same way, like if our resource is using more and more, then we can also add more worker node. Okay, but for real time uses we need at least 1 master node and 2 worker node must. So when I'm using like Kubernetes architecture or kubeADM, then we can see we need at least 3 node or 3 server to run a Kubernetes cluster. So there is like for local working, we are also using like Minikube. Minikube is like single node cluster. We'll see later. So we can see like in control panel or master node, there is the more 4 key components. One is API server, who is responsible for the communicate to any others. It's the main entry point. Schedule is decide where to run any pod. Controller manager will maintain desired state, detect cluster state. That means any pod is down, then it will monitor. HCD is the distributed key store, so it will store all resources available. Is restored healthy or not, cluster state change, everything will be stored in HCD. So in worker node we need to component is kubelet. So talk to API server, run the pod. Kube-proxy is handle the network issue, and container runtime you are using Docker for running any container. So here is a like simple diagram I use. So this is a master node. So kube API server, kube scheduler, and control manager. So kube API server is communicate with the kubelet, and kube-proxy is the responsible to maintain any networking of a pod. Okay, so for like if I want to see the hands-on, so we can see if in our local system already Minikube is installed. So if our Minikube doesn't install, we can like run Minikube start. So for checking the cluster info, we can check the kubectl cluster info, and how many nodes we have we can see by kubectl get nodes. Let me like open a node, then you can understand. So if we run kubectl get nodes, so it's showing the node. If we have more nodes, then it's also show here. So here is only one node is Minikube. So Minikube is a one node cluster, so that's why it's showing Minikube only, and this cluster is ready. Okay, so now if we want to see the cluster info, kubectl cluster dash, it will show the cluster info. Kubernetes control plane is running this IP, and Kubernetes or other API service is running this IP. Okay, so like if we run any apps, then it will run in the Minikube pod. So like we already told the picture like kubeadm, then kube-proxy, kube-schedule, where those are running. So if we want to see all those pods, then we need to kubectl get pod. If I put dash a, then all running system pod will be showing. So this kube system is the main for responsible to running anything. So we can like, let me copy kubectl get pod dash dash. So we can see only kube system pods are here. So we can see etcd, kube API server, kube controller, kube-proxy, kube-scheduler, all our components are running in the system of the master node. So the Minikube is the single node where master and worker all together. That's why we can see here. But when you are using the production server, we can only see those nodes are only available in master, and worker node only we see the proxy, then Docker container and kube-proxy. Those are in the worker node. So this Minikube is worker and master all are run in single node. For like using locally, we are using Minikube. That's why we are seeing all is here. So let me run a pod, then we can okay. So if you put kubectl get pod, so nothing is running. Okay, so now we are like using this command to deploy a pod. So this is a just simple HTTP image that will create a deployment, and we expose it port 80. So now if I kubectl get pod, we can see one pod is running. If we want to see all, then we can see the service also. This is the app service, and if we see the IP or like the access point to access the website, then we need to run Minikube, then service and the service name, service, and the service name is my app. Sorry, my app. Then it will show the IP of the access point. So if I copy this, so let me open this in the Google. Somehow my Explorer is getting problem. Let me open it in the Google Chrome. So if I click Control and click the link, then you can see the browser is open here. So it's showing it's okay. So this way, like we can see the deployment is running in our Kubernetes architecture. Okay, so basically this is the today's video where we discussed about what is Kubernetes, why we are using Kubernetes, and Kubernetes architecture. Next class we will discuss the installation process, how we can install Minikube in our local environment. So if you found this video is helpful, then subscribe this channel and like the video.